Close the door and have a seat next to you.
And you still see the presentation video, right?
I do, yes, thank you.
Awesome, thank you very much. So hi guys, are you also
Yes.
filming? Okay, awesome.
We don't want to put the pressure on her. Right?
No. So, hi, I'm Mats Younggren, and my background and experience is from the telecom industry. So I have about 13 years of experience running test lead, and also earlier on working as a tester and a developer in big telecom projects. And the latest project I had was actually a $10 million project where we actually spent $3 million on test-related activities. And that's the background we're coming from, and that's why we're going to talk about Boozang and how we can improve quality assurance with this platform. So $3 million, that sounds like a lot of money going to QA. So why is this? And for 10 or 15 years, it's actually been kind of the same pains that the testers feel. First of all, it's actually with the developer. And the biggest problem is that the developers themselves cannot reproduce the bugs. The tester fills out the test report and it says steps to reproduce, and the developer says, I just did the steps to reproduce, there isn't a problem. Our software works. An even bigger problem is that the testers cannot automate the tests. So it's basically that they don't know the technology to automate the tests. So of course the developers with the agile way of working keeps pushing new functionality, and the testers needs to do this manual work all the time. And also, like where I usually sit as a manager, we cannot monitor project status. So basically managers are clueless of what's going on, and this is actually more and more problematic in testing than it is in development. So why is this? Was this an unusually shitty project? No. It seems like from last year's total IT spending of $3.4 trillion, the quality assurance cost is 35% 2016. And this is actually something from my career that's gone from something around like 20% up to 35%. And partly this is because there are much more devices on the market. But one of the biggest problems is not that testing has become worse. It's because everything else has become better. So now we usually run distributed teams, and of course we have software such as GitHub for development, we have Bitbucket, we have Slack for communication that enables me to communicate with my teams in India and China, and of course now, just recently, Atlassian just acquired Trendos. We have fantastic tools in the cloud for project management. But for testing, we have a lot of desktop tools that are installed on your desktop, and then the actual reporting of the bugs are actually done mostly through Excel. And that's basically where we come in and provide a full software as a service solution to not only have a test tool, but also to be able to report directly in the browser. So what are we doing? We're a cloud-based testing tool that enables you to share links with directly in the browser. We run on all platforms, and we totally eliminate the need for manual tests except for UI. And that's basically our mission, is to make software work with minimum effort. So there's a big tool I could demo, but we have a very short pitch. We have a 5-minute pitch. So I will just demo kind of, I'm not sure if you will be able to see this video, but this is basically just a clickable link. And this is not even running on my computer. So when you actually click the link, it's going to launch and open up a browser session on my site. And then it's basically going to step through the site and highlight the problem directly in the browser. So what we're seeing here is not something that is driven from the cloud. It's the browser that connects to the cloud and drives through the browser. So this URL right here can actually be a private URL behind the company firewall. So the result is actually, let's see if I can launch this presentation again. The idea is actually that we've managed to build something that competes with desktop tools such as SmartBear and Ranorex, which are really ancient desktop installed tools, but it's fully software as a service running on private environments. So it's basically the big differentiators are, we are software as a service, unlike Smartware and Ranorex. We do not require programming in order to register the tests. And the existing software as a service tools cannot run on private environments, so that's where we differentiate. We did one case study at one of the major telecom operators here, where we took something they've automated with Selenium, and we let their team use our tools. And Selenium, to do one test, took 2 hours, and with Boozang it took 10 minutes. So basically we're at a little higher than 10x productivity for test automation. Our revenue model is very simple. Our community is always free. It's for up to 2 team members. And then when you scale up your team, we charge you $100 per month and user. And one thing that we take a lot of pride is that we only charge for active users. So it means that if you ramp up a team and if users are not using it, we don't charge for that. So from the initial beta that was launched September last year, all the feedback was regarding, or 95% of the feedback was regarding the UI. So we are launching in February a new UI right here. So we think this is going to be a game changer. It's much more usable. And a little bit about the team. It's Wensheng, who is the inventor and also who made the patent application 3 years ago for our technology. There is me, and there is Joey, who we brought on board to do the UI. And then we're also really happy to announce that we have Scott Acker, which is the VP of Operations for PQA testing, one of the QA consulting firms here, joining our board of advisors. So we think that's going to help us a lot to understand the market. So a little bit, I think I'm running a little bit out of time, so stepping through the roadmap, trying to fundraise this summer, and ending with a quote from one of the guys that used this in the telecom industry. Thank you, guys.
Very good.